joined now by Julia Waters, who is Ruth Perry's sister. Hello to you, Professor.
Morning.
Thanks for taking the time to join us. What do you make of the government's decision to change the way that they grade schools?
It's a vindication of what we've been fighting for months now, and that the education sector is clearly desperate for. So it's a huge relief, above all, really, that finally the new government has recognised the huge harm done by the previous system. The previous government had the results of the inquest into my sister's death, a parliamentary inquiry, and chose not to make this change. So I am delighted and relieved, as I am sure head teachers up and down the country will be, to learn that finally this inhumane use of single word judgments will be going, and it signifies a really important first step in a programme of much broader and deeper reform.
That's the point, isn't it? It's not just about the wording, and it's going to be more of a report card as opposed to a single word description. But how do you think the government needs to further help schools so that they, especially those that are deemed to be underperforming, whatever that might mean, with these new parameters?
The important thing, I won't go into the details of how exactly the old system will be replaced and morphed into a new system, but the really important thing is that we move from a punitive, high-stakes system that causes untold distress to teachers and head teachers towards a system that is genuinely supportive. It's supportive of schools to make improvements and thereby supportive of children's education. So, you don't need to be nasty in order to be rigorous. You don't need to be hard in order to be effective. Ofsted need to inject significant amounts of humanity and empathy and proportionality into their system to support head teachers and teachers to drive improvement for the benefit of their children.
You're speaking about this today because of what happened to your beloved sister. What difference do you think this sort of change might have made for her?
It would have made a massive change, a massive difference. I mean, I've been saying all along, the single word judgments are not the only flaw in a fatally flawed inspection system, but they are the most significant and the most prominent, the most visible. And that word, the word inadequate, the word itself, what it signifies, the shame, the public humiliation that goes with one word being attached to a school. Ruth felt that it was a personal attack on her. So it had a huge psychological effect. And then she just felt completely trapped. She was unable to complain about what she and all who knew her and the school believed to be an unfair and disproportionate judgment. And then the consequences. This is the thing that I don't think there's been enough attention paid to, really. The consequences of a single word judgment, inadequate, or actually of two consecutive requires improvement judgments, tend to mean, almost invariably mean, the forced academisation of the school, the complete change of the leadership, the management, and the loss, usually, of at least the head teacher's job. So Ruth was really seriously impacted, both by the psychological damage done by that one word, but also by the very real practical fears of losing her job, a job she loved, and her reputation and her livelihood.